Okay, so here we are with this latest edition of White Dwarf, November 2019, and it's come with some other bits. So you've got here Sabbath Will's Crusade, Dan Abnett, that's coming out in December 2019. Maybe that's something you want to check out. It's got quite a cool little poster type thing with it as well. You've got a few little cards as well. Blood Bowl, something for that there. You've got Adeptus Titanicus card, some tips and tricks. This is Aeronautica Imperialis, and Warhammer Underworlds card there. So that all comes with this month's edition. It's quite cool. Okay, anyway, let's get in. Okay, it's a season of giving. So yeah, so this issue has got some bonus items included. This is basically what this is saying, which I've just shown you. Right, contents. You can see what's coming up. A bit of Warhammer Underworlds, some Gloom Spike Gits there at the bottom. This is the contact page, and they've got some nice little submissions for models this month. Yeah, some very cool stuff. I do love a bit of Sylvaneth. That's very nice, with a bit of a snowy base at the bottom there. Lots of different things this month. Model of the month is the Blood Angels Lieutenant Tolmeron, painted by Chris Pike. Very good. Nice little sword there as well. Okay, this is a spotlight on Matt van Aard. That might have been pronounced wrong. You can have a look at those. Very nice miniatures. Okay, so we're on to Worlds of Warhammer, looking into the background of Age of Sigmar. Andy Clark is explaining what it's like writing in the 41st millennium. Oh, so it's not just Age of Sigmar, it's the 41st millennium. So we've got all that 40k stuff too. Moving on to nicely into the 40k section. Echoes from the Warp, the regular column in White Dwarf. So it's not done by Robin Crudace or Crudaci. It's James Gallagher this time, and he's talking about Kill Team. And there's some new rules for Kill Team. There's some how to play. You got a bit of fiction here, Worm Hunt. There's a few pages of that. Puritans and Radicals, talking about that. Index Imperialis, Inquisition. A bit more about those. And there's some nice little miniatures on display there as well. Very cool. Got a little orangutan. And more Index Imperialis. You got some stratagems that you might want to have a look at. Some of the abilities are highlighted there, and some rules. And some more rules for them. So there's lots of new stuff to get in there. Warlord traits. Telethesia Discipline, Relics of the Inquisition, Armories of the Ordos, and some points values there. Okay, and moving on to Agents of the Inquisition. So, after you've read all the background, this is some conversions painted by people in the Warhammer studio. So, you've got some pretty cool conversions there. Just very nicely painted, some real creepy stuff, a little sort of robotic baby. And that's very, very awesome miniature. Hopefully gives you some ideas for your conversions. And we're moving on to Dawn of the Era Indomitus. So the Indomitus Crusade. And there's a bit more about that on the next few pages. And the Galactic War Zones this time is about deserts and ash wastes, so this is quite cool actually. They're doing all sorts of stuff around armies based living in the desert. So they're showing you the painted camo, some camo stuff, sort of choosing whether they'll blend in or standing out in the desert. There isn't all that much on painting, but these bits are very cool. There's some amazing miniatures. It's very, very nice indeed. You got a little squig up there, squig rider. So yeah, that's all to do with the desert. And moving on to creating the desert terrain. There's some very nice painted up terrain on that page. Okay, and moving on to Kill Team, new rules. So there's a bit on that there. And Age of Sigmar. So we're going to move on to rules of engagement. They're actually talking about the game Warcry, which we've been playing a lot of here. So going into a bit about the rules of engagement in Warcry. Sort of ways to make it interesting. On the MAWPATH, this is the campaign, which could be fun to have a go at. Ogres on campaign. There's an event table there. Brewing table. The campaign roster, ending the campaign. So that's all about that. Hunger pains. There are two things that ogres think about more than anything else: fighting and food. I think that's quite apt. A bit more about fiction on there. And the Stormvault Warlords. Tale of Four Warlords, which sort of carries through from each magazine, so there's a bit more about that. Showing off their different armies. You've got Nurgle, quite a cool thing on different Nurgle bases there. I really like this water effect one, and she sort of goes into, they sort of go into how they're making those bases up. A bit on the Gloomspite Git bases, and they're really bright miniatures. And moving on to some Ideneth Deepkin, showing off some of the Endless Sea spells. Some just incredible miniatures all around there really, but particularly amazing sort of underwater style bases, which are amazing. On to Beastgrave, the Battle in Beastgrave battle report. So there's a bit more about that. Sort of deployment, defensive or aggressive. More about the battle report. I won't go too much into detail there. And some new rules for Apex. So that's the card that you got there. And for the Warhammer Underworlds. And some tactics. And on to some new rules for Blackstone Fortress. More rules for that. And onto an interview. So for nearly 2 decades, Colonel Commissioner Ibram Gaunt has led the 10th first and only on countless missions to reclaim the Sabbath worlds from the forces of chaos. So it's Dan Abnett talking about the Gaunt the Ghost's ongoing crusade. A little bit more on that there. And here you can see Andy Hoare's incredible army. Just really fantastic amount, just the sheer amount of miniatures there, and the detail in each of them is pretty amazing. I really like that sort of purple and metallic-y purple colour scheme. It's very cool. So a bit on the Horus Heresy, Rights of War, some more detailed shots there. Some amazing background there as well. Terrain, very nice. So it sort of talks a bit about the colour scheme and why he's painted it purple, which is cool. And you got the Tactica Middle-earth, the Hero of ESCAROTH. So J. Clare from Middle-earth team giving an insight into his favourite character in the strategy battle game. So he's talking about the Dragon Slayer himself, Bard the Bowman. So that's all about Bard. And onto inside the studio, some of these models that they've painted up. With some pretty amazing things there. Quite a lot about sort of desert stuff in this issue, and that is actually the end. So yeah, there's a lot about desert. There's a bit about Warcry. Not a lot of painting information, but there's some pretty cool giveaways of these little additional bundles of cards. So lots to get into in that issue. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to keep up to date with what we're posting, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can also click that bell icon to be notified when a new video has gone live on this channel. On the screen now are 2 more videos that you may wish to check out, and a link to our Patreon page also. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.